Maggie Lowry writes about her experience as part of the first blockade of the Greenham Common military base in March 1982. On Sunday, 21st March 1982, coaches sped to Greenham Common from far and wide in eager anticipation of a festival to celebrate the unity of all life organised by the Women's Peace Camp. The festival was to precede the 24 hours of direct action beginning at 7 that evening. After a great festival, enjoyed by all the family, more than 150 women chained themselves in groups to each of the main 8 gates of the airbase and began the first ever 24-hour women's blockade of a military base in the history of C&D. Huddling under the stars in the dark, on the edge of a devastatingly bleak military base, guarded constantly by US Army personnel, might have been a daunting experience. But the women were sustained by their convictions and unified by a fervent desire to forward the cause of peace by resisting the installation of cruise missiles on our soil. Throughout the night, the discomfort of the cold ground, the weight of the heavy chains shackling us to the fence were forgotten, as support groups ride around with hot food and drink. Theatre and music groups provided entertainment, and in between we sang peace songs, watched the smouldering campfire and talked, waiting for the dawn and the response which would follow from the authorities. With the daylight came floods of film crews and reporters from local, national and international sections of the media, but the welcome publicity they represented was overshadowed by a massive police presence, and by the anger of car drivers protesting against the total blockade of the roads surrounding the airbase. We joined in, singing "We Shall Not Be Moved," greeted the military police as they approached, and answered the many questions from journalists until the continuous drone of army trucks behind us drowned out all conversation. 16 hours into the protest, the Ministry of Defence, the military police and the United States Air Force conceded moral defeat, having been prevented from gaining access to the site. So far, we had achieved total victory and had halted all work inside the fence. In a mood of euphoria, we tucked into well-cooked porridge, difficult to eat with both arms shackled. Suddenly, police numbers doubled, and 3 van loads of protesters were swept off to the local police station to face a charge of obstruction. In the meantime, a hole had been cut in a section of the fence to give access to the base. 39 brave women raced to fill the gap and were promptly arrested while traffic carrying base personnel and supplies queued up to drive in. Frightened but determined, a group of us unchained ourselves from the fence and hurried through police barricades to refill the gap and prevent them from getting in. We joined 5 other women and sat in front of the gap, facing some 40 to 50 policemen. We tried to explain the reasons for our protest to the police and linking arms sang protest songs. Since the women who had already been arrested had filled the local magistrates' court to capacity that morning, orders arrived to make no more arrests. So what were the police to do? The answer seemed to be to remove us, and this they did none too gently. Each time we were thrown aside, to the policeman's amazement, we picked ourselves up and rejoined the group in the gap. This pattern persisted until the 24 hours were up. We did not prevent all traffic from gaining access to the site, but we made its passage inconvenient and difficult by our presence. With 40 of us at the gap and another 100 and more changed the gates, we had proved that women could cause a great deal of embarrassment to the authorities and could unite to make an effective protest against the increasing danger of nuclear war. Our parting words were, "We'll be back soon."